all the news media for coming today. I want to first start off by expressing my sincere condolences to the Larson family, to the friends and family of the Larson family. And I would like to introduce a couple people here today. This is Lieutenant Cymbaluk with the Sheriff's Office. He's our PIO. And then Fabian Salazar with the NTSB. I'm going to turn the time over to Mr. Salazar, and after he's done talking, we'll answer a few questions. Thank you, sir.
We'll get your first last name spelled.
Fabian Salazar, Fabian Salazar. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Fabian Salazar. I'm an air safety investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board. I'm here with members of the Federal Aviation Administration, Piper Aircraft, and Lycoming Engines. We're here to begin our on-scene investigation of an aviation accident that occurred at the Canyonlands Regional Airport in Moab, Utah. A single-engine land airplane impacted terrain under nighttime conditions. Sadly, the 4 occupants sustained fatal injuries. The NTSB would like to extend its condolences to the families and friends who are affected by this accident. We'll be here most of the day today and all day tomorrow to gather factual evidence out of the scene. We're also conducting interviews. So if there's anyone out there who may have information they feel is important to the investigation, please contact the NTSB at witness@ntsb.gov. That's witness@ntsb.gov, or contact the local sheriff's department. We will be, as I mentioned, we'll be gathering information out at the scene. Once the information is gathered, we're going to recover the aircraft to a secure facility where we will continue the investigation. The public can expect a preliminary report in about 14 days, followed by a final report with probable cause. And depending on the complexities of the investigation, that may go out to a year to 18 months. Okay. The NTSB would like to thank the Grand County Sheriff's Department, the Moab Fire Department, the Canyonlands Regional Airport, and the Emergency Medical Services and Classic Air Services for their support. And we're happy to take questions now.
You talk about what the conditions were out here last night?
Well, we're gathering weather information, and right now the report is dark conditions, so nighttime conditions at the time of takeoff.
No different kind of weather? I mean, pretty standard weather for that?
Well, I can tell you that we're gathering the weather data for the nighttime conditions.
What can you tell us about the aircraft? Kind of was.
The airplane is a Piper Cherokee, a PA-28-140, PA-28-140, single engine land airplane.
How many?
Well, we're gathering that information on their flight plan.
How many seats would it be?
I'd have to get into the actual aircraft itself.
Anything the public should know in that area?
I would just advise the public, if they have information that they think is relevant to the investigation, to please contact us. And if you're curious to watch the news, that we don't need the public out in the area.
Such planes carry black boxes?
Well, we'll be examining the aircraft to see what type of recording devices that the airplane may have.
Is there any distress signal or anything for it?
Well, we are asking the airport authority to provide us with their common traffic advisory frequency so that we can review those to find out if there were any calls made.
Are you the one, or who can talk about who was on the airplane, and just talk a little bit about that? How many people and all of that?
Well, I can tell you that there were 4 occupants in the aircraft.
Can you kind of go into a little bit, kind of did already, but what this investigation will look like? Like what kind of things you guys will specifically look for?
The NTSB basically in dealing with the aviation accident investigations, you can we look at three big areas. That's the man, the machine, and the environment. So we'll examine the pilot's history, how long he's been flying, the hours that he's accumulated, his experience. We'll look at the aircraft, the maintenance history of the aircraft, and we'll also look at the weather.
So are we not prepared to identify?
Well, the NTSB does not release the names of the occupants. So that'll be by the local authorities.
Sheriff, are you able to do that now?
Yeah.
Can we switch the microphone real quick?
And that gets me off it. Oh.
We have the pilot, Senator, I want to pronounce his name correctly, Douglas Larson from North Dakota, his wife, Amy Larson, and their 2 children.
You have ages?
I don't.
Have you had any communication with anybody from their state, maybe the governor or anything of that nature?
Been speaking with the sheriff where Mr. Larson resided, North Dakota. Also been speaking with Lieutenant Colonel Murphy of the National Guard as well.
And just what were you just able to tell them? Just pass the news, or?
Last night, I was on scene and tried to provide the family with most updates that I possibly could at the time. And I've continued to stay in contact with the family. It's very sad.
Can you at all go into a little bit, since you were on scene, what it looked like?
It's very tragic. It's very, it's very sad. Like I said, for the Larson family, but also for first responders, it was a very tough scene.
Do you have any information regarding how long he's been a pilot or anything like that?
I don't have that.
How will the sheriff's department be aiding the investigation itself?
So we're supporting the NTSB in their investigation with any kind of resources they need. So far, we've provided from the National Park Service, we've provided a UAV to an aerial surveillance of the entire area. Our investigators with the Sheriff's Office and deputies are helping us, NTSB, in any kind of support that they need, getting people to and from their location and acquiring any kind of other information that they might need in the field.
Al, is there any other information or anything else that you can add to what has transpired here?
No, just again, the condolences to the Larson family. That's a huge thing for us. We're a small community, and we just wanted to extend that again from our office and everybody that's involved here in Grand County and all that. We don't have anything further at this point. It's still an ongoing investigation, so we're going to rely on the NTSB to provide the specific details from their involvement, and we're here to support them. We're here supporting the family. Like the sheriff said, he was getting in contact with lots of family members and people from North Dakota, so we're helping them.
Are any of you able to say whether or not the family died on impact?
I don't think that's a question that we can actually answer. So that would be.
So, is the family looking for any information to help them resolve that they just had?
Absolutely. Most recently, we've been in contact with the National Guard. They're providing a victim, kind of a victim advocate for them, help them with their tragic situation. We're in communication with them as well. We're going to help them get through this the best that we can.
Do you happen to know, maybe you don't know, but were they vacationing here? Were they just passing through, or do you have any information on it?
I don't have any information.
heard that they just stopped in Moab to fill up fuel and then took off again. So I don't know if that's accurate, but I was wondering if you could confirm they just stopped here to fill up and they didn't come to Moab directly.
I don't have an answer to that.
With regards to the question that you asked, we have information that tells us that the occupants landed at Canyonlands, got into a car, went into town, came back from town, and at some point did take on fuel and then departed.
How shortly after their departure did they crash?
We're gathering that information.
Is there any other information you guys can tell us?
Thank you, Neil.
Just a question you can't answer.
Sure.
The last time we had a plane crash, an incident like this. Right now,
I'm going to say roughly 2007.
2008, 2007.
Do you know any more details on that particular incident?
No, ma'am.
Sheriff Riggins, you said that this was a tough shooting for first responders. Can you tell us why?
You can just stand there. Right.
The loss of life, especially with children. That's the hardest part.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.